Discussions about Michigan school funding can create more confusion than clarity. Each state has its own intricacies and peculiarities. Michigan is no exception. There's no one unified system that controls school funding. Rather, schools rely on several systems layered on top of each other to supply them with resources. The foundation allowance is the main stream of operating money for Michigan's 540 conventional school districts and 300 public charter schools, and was created by Proposal A. Previously, most education dollars derived from local property taxes. This produced large, geographically based funding disparities. The plan was to gradually reduce disparities by providing lower funded districts with larger increases so they could eventually catch up with their higher funded peers. And over the last 2 decades, the foundation allowance gap has closed significantly. About 3/4 of districts and all charter schools receive the minimum foundation allowance of $7,511 per student in 2017. That amount is nearly $3,000 more than the lowest funded districts received before Proposal A. 2 student counts, one in October and one in February, are used to determine the actual amount the state must pay each district through the foundation allowance. A district's final enrollment is calculated by adding 90% of the October count to 10% of the previous year's February count. The foundation allowance is financed through a mix of state and local revenues, such as an 18 mil tax on properties that aren't primary residences, and state backfill revenues, sales, income, lottery, and other taxes from the school aid fund. Other sources include the use tax, tobacco tax, and real estate transfer tax. For example, if a district's local revenue provides $5,000 per student, the state would contribute $2,511, so the district would receive a total of $7,511 per student through the foundation allowance. There are exceptions to the foundation allowance. A few school districts can raise enough local funding without the state kicking in any money, and all public charter schools rely entirely on the state to fund their foundation allowances because they cannot levy any taxes of their own. A final important point about the foundation allowance is that it is only one revenue source for school districts. Most districts receive significant amounts of money from other local, state, and federal sources. Michigan schools, on average, collected $14,307 in revenue for every full-time student enrolled in 2016. Nevertheless, the foundation allowance is the most important funding mechanism because it is the primary source of revenue schools use for employing teachers and other core operations such as purchasing instruction materials and keeping the lights on. To learn more about how school funding works in Michigan, please click the link below. Visit the Mackinac Center for Public Policy at mackinac.org.